In creating GUI applications, obviously things are very visual, and that usually includes using graphics in our interface or graphics for output. It's one of the reasons I've included Photoshop in our program Hustedde. I think developers today need to know how to work with graphics, with bitmaps, and Photoshop is certainly the industry standard with that. So in Photoshop, I created two images. These are PNG images, so they have a transparent background. That's the checkerboard you see here. I just used a public domain image of the Grand Canyon and then masked it against the text of Arizona and added the Grand Canyon state text. And did the same thing for a similar banner on Hawaii, taking a public domain image created by Gerd Altman, created a layer mask against the text of Hawaii, and then added in Aloha Paradise. Save both those out as a PNG. We're going to bring those into a Visual Basic application using a PictureBox, which is our focus in this lesson. I've created a project called PictureBox Demo, and it's a form of 800 by 450 in size. The images that I showed you as far as the Arizona and Hawaii banners are 770 by 180. And it's helpful to know what the sizes are of the images you're working with to allow them to best fit in our application. Now in this case, I designed those with this application in mind. Sometimes you're going to use graphics that are already created, and you may have to decide how they best fit into your application. So what I'm going to do is create a banner up here at the top of those two images, Arizona and Hawaii, with buttons that will allow me to select one or the other. Maybe we're creating a travel log and we want to have information about different destinations. We might have 15, 20 of these. We're just going to do 2 in this demo. So I'm going to find the picture box, and I'm going to drag a box. Since my form is about 800 wide, I'm going to go roughly 770. I'm going to name this Pick Banner, and I'll come down to the size here. Let's make this 770, 180. You can use the arrow keys to nudge. I'm just a little bit of a margin here, left, right, and top. And now I want to display the image in this picture box. So I'm going to go to the image property. I click the button here to bring up the dialog box. And I have a choice of accepting a local resource that I can import, or in this case, what I really want to do is embed this in my project. So if I distribute it, the graphics all come with it. I'm going to click the project resource and say import, and go find my images. So there's my Arizona banner. There's my Hawaii banner. I'm going to say open. So those both show up. I'm going to select the first one, Arizona, and say OK. And there then is my Arizona banner. Now when I imported those 2 images, they came into the Solution Explorer into Resources, and there are my 2 images that have been embedded in this project. So in a Resources folder. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a button. And we'll have this one say Arizona. I'm going to copy it. This one will be Hawaii. I'm going to select that first button, name it BTN Arizona. This one will be BTN Hawaii. I'm going to double click the Arizona button. And we're going to take pick banner dot image equals, and I can say my dot resources dot, and notice in the IntelliSense here I get my 2 images here, Arizona banner and Hawaii banner. I'm going to choose Arizona banner. And I like to put the size in my file names. It makes it really easy to remember what those are. We don't have to look them up in the properties. And I'll do the same thing for Hawaii. copy, paste, do my period, and select. Let's just test this. Arizona and Hawaii. These are transparent. I'm going to go into my form and change the back color I'll do a pale turquoise. And you notice how that background shines through those transparent areas. Now looking back at the properties for our picture box, so we can set the size, give it a name. We can change the back color of the picture box. By default, it corresponds to the form itself, but we could take that back color and make it different if we wanted. And this one should be a lower P, pick banner. Doesn't really matter, but that's considered traditional. We can turn the visibility on or off by changing the true to false if we want to have it hidden maybe at first. But there's one other thing here I want to show you in the properties. It's really important working with images, and that's the size mode. We have 5 different options of size mode, and this determines how the image is displayed within the bounds of the picture box. Normal means it'll be displayed at 100% within the bounds of the box. The stretch image will stretch the image to the bounds of the box. Auto size will resize the picture box to the size of the image. We can also center the image, and we can zoom in the image. Now you don't see a lot of change there when I went through those 5 different options. Let me show you another example. I created this application of the image of the horse, which is 800 by 600 pixels, being displayed in 5 different picture boxes using those 5 different size modes. Over here on the left-hand side is our auto size, which stretches the picture box to the size of the image. So the picture box is 800 by 600 pixels. Over on the right-hand side at the top is a smaller picture box that's 200 by 150 with the size mode set to normal. And what you see there is the upper left-hand corner. It's going to display the image at 100% starting in the upper left. Use whatever the bounds are of the box. Picture box 3 has the size mode set at stretch image. It's the same size as the one above, 200 by 150, and this stretches the image to fit the picture box. Now the one thing to be cautious of here is, since it's stretching the image, it can distort. So if your picture box is not the same size as your image, you might get something that looks like this or this. And it's especially disturbing when you have things that are round. This next picture box 4, same size, but here we centered the image, and so simply is going to do 100%, and it's going to center it in the box and use whatever bounds are available for the box. And then finally, picture box 5, which in most cases I think is the best option. The size mode is set to zoom, and the picture will fit the box proportionally. But again, if the picture box is not the same size as the image, you can get a letterbox format. It'll use the background color of the picture box for the letterbox area. So I made mine kind of a lavender color. If it was black, though, you would see black stripes here. That's kind of common with letterboxes. Notice the image is proportional in each case. If you just jumped into this video, you can see all the videos from the Programming Practicum playlist by clicking on the image in the lower right. And if you'd like to be alerted to future videos I create, you can click my picture in the top right to subscribe to the channel.